Hello, my name's Eddie Honeycutt. It's actually Douglas Edward Honeycutt. Eddie was my name as a child until about 17. And my name's Douglas Edward Honeycutt, so I went by Ed and Doug. But this May 2025, I've started going through a spiritual awakening. And my whole life, I'm split, being dissociative. It's all about the children. So therefore, Eddie, it's all about the Eddies, the youngsters that were ritualistically, systematically tortured by my mother during different parts of my 1 to 8-year-old life. So I was born, I'm 67 years old now. Lucky to be alive and very blessed because of who my dads are up there, about right here. I'm so blessed to have been with God every day of my life, and that's why I survived. That's why I still survive. I've been in spiritual awakening since May of this year, 2025, and that has been, should have been one of the most incredible things in my life, but there's been a couple of situations which I will address. But in having a purpose, you attract some really dark energy. So it's called throat chakras, which I had no idea about until May. I've been attacked, and they hurt today to keep me silent, especially about when I have to talk about what has happened during this awakening with a really bizarre situation. Anyway, so I'm on the West Coast. I was born in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We lived there. I know my father had to take off. We lived there for only about 3 years. Then there was a night I remember I was leaving in a panic and everything, and well, that will be part of the story later. I really want to start with my awakening. In May, it happened. Nothing anybody could have planned for it or known. It just happened. On May 8th, I was knowing something was changing. And I was lying. I had quit drinking about a year before. And yes, I'm a broken person. I've drank and I've used bandages all my life. But I quit drinking about a year before without even wondering. And then that night I was quitting smoking pot, which was my insomnia. When you're split, I have 19 parts, people. When you're split, 7 child parts, 5 young child parts, insomnia tends to be a big deal all your life, all my life. It was just excruciating. I went for a sleep study in 1988 in La Jolla, California, at the Mind Institute at Scripps Clinic. And actually, when I went for the sleep study, the night was interesting. I didn't sleep. And then when I came back, they said that things had to be changed. It was going to be different. He was not even gone the whole night through. And then I was called back, and I was told, I was asked to sign away the study for medical, psychiatric reasons, but not really told why. I asked about my insomnia, and they said, oh, you'll just have to be on medications for the rest of your life. But of course, there was more to it. And then because of that, I spent over 2 years with 2 wonderful, wonderful doctors, forensic psychiatrists from San Diego and a renowned hypnotherapist from Del Mar, Oceanside. They saved my life, along with Peter. Peter Wason was my therapist that I went to for the help, for the sleep. So I was born in South Carolina, Marco, to about 3, and my maternal grandparents lived in out of Silva, North Carolina. So that's where we went. And interesting life. North Carolina, then Atlanta. I go to school in Atlanta. Summer holidays in North Carolina. Something bad happened at 3, and my mother poured a bottle of fingernail polish remover down my throat. I remember everything. I remember too much, but I remember everything. Then I was adopted. It was protection. My family called the Reeses in Silva, Jonesboro. And so that was a large part of my life. From 4 to about 7 or 8, my mother married their son. He was my protector. Little Benny, that's what I called him, Benny Reese. And Benny and Eleanor were considered my step-grandparents, adopted. And then that went bad. I was back to full-time in Atlanta with my mother, but I'll go on about that. My high school life was pretty good, considering I moved out when I was 17. I kind of had to, and kind of stayed on my own in Atlanta and Midtown, and I'm gay, and it just so happened that at 18, that was just the first year of the disco years, and Atlanta was wonderful, and I had the time of my life, and I didn't want to leave. They left me alone, and I guess when you live in a apartment complex whose nickname is Vaseline Valley, your strict family that wants nothing to do with that stays away from you. I didn't want to leave, but they guilted me out of staying in Atlanta at 25 for being gay, and got a job in Southern California, San Diego, and LA as a regional manager for Travelodge hotels. I was running property in Atlanta, called in, so I got that offer. I'd been offered many times to go work for them. So San Diego and LA, I was 25 years old. Been pretty good for a while. Anyway, I need to jump ahead to the spiritual awakening. Again, I was falling into it, and May 8th happened, and within 2 days, my first, I'd say, guide showed up on YouTube. I was in YouTube and not looking. My spirituality started in the 80s in San Diego, but I wasn't looking, but Chris showed up in my life, changed everything. And then others. I've got about 5 main, consider my main guides. And yes, that's through YouTube. People, spirituality is so important in this year of 2025. The Great Division, the 3 dark days coming, it really is. And I found my way into this because my life has been pure spiritual with God and Source and connected. And unfortunately, I have fought evil from my family, the Holcombs, in Jackson County, North Carolina. Unbelievable. I don't know how many murders since I've been alive. I thought it was only 2, but no, there's more. But I know I'm bouncing around, but that's when somebody is split. Gotta consider it's up here. Got 5 child parts, 2 more, 15-year-old, and 5 adult parts, and then 5 more not full-time adult parts. But there's 12 of us with co-consciousness children. So yeah, they've had to hide inside all my life, and in May of this year, they started being allowed to come out more, and now they're speaking kind of with their own voices versus just this voice of the vessel we all shared. for 47 years and more. The awakening was going so special until something happened to me called the gatekeepers. FedEx International and these gatekeepers out of the blue contacted me about monies for me, inheritance for my purpose and my pursuits with humanities, what I wanted to do. I had that psychic come into my life many times over the years. And in 2004, in Sonoma, California, I went into an appliance dealership I was restoring a Victorian for, vintage stove. I walked in, it was Johnny's Appliances. And I said, hi, I'm restoring a Victorian and I need a stove. And he goes, oh, it's you. And he turned around and grabbed all these books and articles and everything. I was used to that all my life. It was a wonderful 2 or 3 hours. One thing he showed me was these articles on native lands, the poorest native lands in North America, in America. I had grown up near Cherokee in Jackson County, totally different situation, but my heart went out and I knew instantly that going back to God, going back to the basics, natives and indigenous people all over this world, to God, entrusted with the earth for them to be stewards of the world. And it went so wrong hundreds of years ago. And so that was going to be my purpose. And that's where these funds were going to go, to helping the most needy native tribes I could find, starting, I guess, on the West Coast. And then it kind of went real bad. When it was like, okay, it kind of made sense to me. Funds, heritage, bloodline. I know all that. But it went bad. It turned into kind of a FedEx gift card for pay for gifts. It was going to be $300. It was going to be some good money. 6 figures. And then the first agent, then Smith, first package was going to be $300. And immediately she got it and they said, no, I need more. I had to give her $450. So yeah, it was $750 then. Then she said, no, I need more. I need 800 more. She needed $1,550. I make $2,652 on Social Security. And that was in June, maybe 1st of July. And I couldn't pay rent. And I couldn't give the $800. I didn't have it. So she got $750 then. And then I gave $100 to another agent, and that didn't pan out either. They have been attacking me so bad since then, day after day, month after month. Today, a whole new attack started, and I want to show you and share this with you, because I do need to raise funds, because I'm still at a loss from not being able to pay my rent. I even got served eviction. Barely made it out, but I'm right back there now. I know this is hard to believe, but let me see if I can just maybe get you to just understand a little bit the insanity of this. Okay. Hopefully you can see that. This is Agent Linda Smith, people. This is my biggest. Oh, this is the one who scammed me. And she really does work for them. I was told they were making money off the fees that she was trying to get from me, the $1,500. This goes on, oops, sorry, and on, and this is only part of my, I've been in isolation. She was so aggressive. And then we just went to hell. And I hope I got that. There was probably over 15 agents out here. I just want you to get a sense of that. Now I've been attacked. These are powerful. These are millionaire and billionaires who did not think a gay split old guy should have funds, even though they were put for me because of my bloodline years and years and years ago. I am, right now I'm on Facebook. I'm Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, Honeycutt, H-O-N-E-Y-C-U-T-T, at Facebook. And I'm split happens .me on Instagram. And I'm going to try and use this video. This is my first, especially 16 minutes. This is a big one for me, people. I'm going to try to put it on Facebook. I don't know if it might be too long. And then I'm going to start putting on YouTube. But just in case, you can try and find, I've been posting for months on Facebook. I don't know where they go. But here, I do need, can you read that? Oh, I guess you can, I don't know. You see my name, and I do have a Cash App, cash tag, $, Douglas Honeycutt, 0 is the cash tag. And $10, I need to try and get $1,000 so I can pay rent within the next few days. So here it is. And I'm going to do maybe another one tonight, but definitely tomorrow. But I have to figure out YouTube. The children and I are not technological. We've basically been a hermit for about 8 years because people just wouldn't let us. We couldn't be. We had to hide. Only a part of us, and we just said no more. So, anyway, if you can help out. It's also at Eddie Honeycutt at Facebook. People in spirit will know. I'm talking about people upstairs working their magic against me, but I'm blessed. I'm well protected. I can take a little throat chakra messing. God loves you all. People, I want to tell you my story, and I want to guide people to spirituality now. These are important days and times. And I'm not so much a teacher as a scribe, because I've studied so much. I throw things out there and go, this is for energy, Dr. Maduro, Louise Hay, Carl Jung, Dolores Cannon, Wayne Dyer, Neil Donald Walsh, Conversations with God, changed my life. So anyway, I'm going to stop this now. See if I can get it online. Thank you. Hope to see you soon.